Lately, many people have sensed this. The economy feels like a rigged game. Everyday people are working harder, but falling behind. Prices rise, wages don't. The rich get richer, the middle class. It's shrinking fast. There are deeper forces shaping the financial world, forces that most people never see, or were never meant to understand. But there's a way out. Because when you recognize how the game is played, you can stop being a passive participant and start taking control of your financial future. Not by working more hours, not by trusting politicians or central banks, by understanding the rules of the game and playing it better. Welcome to the Passive Path. Today we'll expose why the system is stacked against you, and what you can do to survive, even thrive in this economic chaos. Let's get started. Who controls your money? It's not you. Central banks, big governments, they pull the strings. They decide how much money is worth. They decide how much of it gets printed. When the government spends more than it earns, it borrows. When it borrows too much, it prints money. That's inflation. And inflation hurts the poor and middle class the most. Your dollars buy less every year. Groceries, gas, rent, all going up. But the rich, they own assets that rise with inflation. Real estate, stocks, businesses. While most people's purchasing power shrinks, the wealthy grow their wealth. Look back at 2008. The financial crisis crushed millions. But for those who owned assets and understood the game, it was an opportunity. Stocks rebounded, real estate surged, and wealth concentrated even more. This isn't just history. It's happening again. The money printing after 2020. It triggered a massive rise in asset prices. Housing costs soared. The stock market hit new highs. But wages, they lagged behind. Families struggled. The homeless crisis grew. And the wealth gap widened. If you keep trading time for dollars, you'll stay trapped. Because the value of those dollars is always under attack. The first step is understanding this truth. The system is designed to reward those who own assets, not those who only earn wages. But once you see who controls the game, you can stop playing by their rules. Stay with me. Next, we'll uncover how politics and freedom shape your financial future. Money and freedom are connected. When governments control money, they also control opportunity. That's why political decisions impact your wallet, and why free markets matter for your financial future. Over the last decade, we've seen growing central planning, not just in economics, in speech and business, in your everyday life. Interest rates, the price of money, should be set by the free market. But today, central banks set them. They decide whether you can afford a home, whether businesses can borrow, whether your savings grow or shrink. This isn't how freedom works. It's how control works. And it's not just about money. Big tech companies once silenced voices that questioned the system. Censorship became normal. Dissenting views were labeled dangerous or conspiratorial. But the tide is turning. Public pressure has forced companies like Meta and Amazon to backtrack and now promise more open dialogue. Whether they mean it or not doesn't matter. What matters is the shift. People are waking up. Remember the last few years. Those labeled as conspiracy theorists, many were right. They questioned government policies. They warned about economic mistakes. And now, those warnings have become reality. This awakening isn't just political, it's financial. More people now understand how policy decisions create inflation, how money printing erodes their savings, and how the system favors those at the top. When governments grow too powerful, individual freedom shrinks. Economic freedom shrinks too. But knowledge is power. And once you see the connections, you can protect yourself. The Passive Path is here to help you do just that. Let's break down why the wealth divide is growing faster than ever, and how you can avoid getting left behind. The wealth gap isn't just growing, it's accelerating. And the reason is simple. Inflation doesn't treat everyone equally. When money loses value, two things happen. The cost of living rises, and the value of real assets rises even faster. If you own assets, inflation can make you richer. If you don't, it makes you poorer. This is what economists call bifurcation. It means the economic path splits. One group climbs higher, the other falls behind. Right now, that split is visible everywhere. Housing prices have surged. Stocks have reached record highs. Business values are up, but wages they barely kept up. For many, they've fallen behind. The result: a shrinking middle class, rising homelessness, and growing frustration. Look around. Cities across the country are facing homelessness crises. People working full-time can't afford rent. Families are struggling with basic costs like food and fuel. Meanwhile, those who own real estate, stocks, or businesses are seeing their wealth grow. This is no accident. It's the direct result of how our monetary and economic systems are designed. Every time the government prints more money, the divide widens. The poor and middle class get hit with rising living costs. The wealthy see their assets inflate in value. If you're not growing your assets, you're already falling behind. But the good news, it's not too late to change that. In the next part, we'll uncover why the system is built to fail, you and what you can do about it. The system is not broken. It's working exactly as designed, to benefit those at the top and to keep everyone else struggling. Let's talk about debt. The U.S. national debt is over $36 trillion. But that's just what's on the books. Off-balance sheet obligations push that number close to $200 trillion. It's unsustainable. Then, there are derivatives. Financial contracts tied to stocks, bonds, and other assets, their total value. Estimates reach into the quadrillions. That's a trillion multiplied by 1,000. These hidden risks can't be ignored. In 2008, derivatives helped trigger a global financial crisis. Today, the risk is even larger and more complex. But central planners keep promising they can manage it. They can't. Every time they intervene, they create bigger problems, bigger bailouts. It's bigger inflation, more distortions in the market. Why does this happen? Because central planning doesn't work. It never has. It never will. Money is half of every transaction in the economy. When governments control the price of money interest rates, they control every transaction. That's why we've seen constant boom and bust cycles, artificially low rates, fuel bubbles. Then when those bubbles burst, the solution is always the same. Print more money, lower rates again, and repeat the cycle. This system punishes savers. It punishes wage earners. It punishes small business owners. But it rewards debt. It rewards speculation. Rewards those with political connections. Can't fix a system built on these incentives, but you can stop letting it break you. Coming up next, I'll reveal what the rich know and how you can apply their strategies starting now. The wealthy play a different game. They don't just work for money. They make money work for them. While most people trade time for dollars, the rich trade dollars for assets. Those assets generate income and grow in value. That's how wealth multiplies. Real estate, dividend-paying stocks, private businesses, commodities like gold and silver, these are the tools of the wealthy. They protect against inflation. They produce cash flow. And they appreciate over time. During the 2008 crisis, many people lost their homes and savings. But those who owned income-producing assets recovered quickly. Some became wealthier than before. The same thing happened after 2020. Asset owners gained, wage earners lost. This isn't luck, it's strategy. The wealthy understand that saving cash isn't enough. Cash loses value every year due to inflation. Assets, on the other hand, tend to rise with or outpace inflation. They also know how to use debt wisely. Not consumer debt, but productive debt. They borrow to buy appreciating assets. The assets produce income and cover the debt payments. Over time, inflation reduces the real value of that debt. Meanwhile, the asset continues to grow in value. This is how the rich turn the system's flaws into their advantage, and it's a strategy you can start using too. No matter your current income or net worth, the passive path is here to show you how. Next, let's build your personal plan for financial freedom. Step by step, practical, actionable, and designed for today's economic reality. It's time to build your personal economic freedom plan. A roadmap to protect yourself from inflation, to grow your wealth, and to stop relying on a system that's working against you. Step 1. Educate yourself. Stop following mainstream financial advice. Learn how money really works. Understand inflation, debt, and asset cycles. Knowledge is your first and most powerful asset. Step 2. Own real assets. Cash is losing value. But assets like real estate, stocks, and commodities rise over time. Start small if you must. The key is to begin. Step 3. Create passive income streams. Don't trade hours for dollars forever. Build income sources that pay you whether you work or not. Rental properties, dividend stocks, online businesses, royalties, licensing. There are more opportunities than ever. You only need to take the first step. Step 4. Stay flexible. Adapt to changing economic conditions. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. Monitor your investments, just when necessary, and never stop learning. Many have followed this path successfully. Ordinary people, not just the wealthy. They started with limited income but built wealth through consistency and strategy. One example, a teacher who bought a small rental property, reinvested the cash flow, acquired more properties over time, eventually replaced her teaching income, now financially independent. Another example, an engineer who started a simple online store, used the profits to invest in stocks and real estate, quit his job within 10 years. You don't need a high income to start. You need the right mindset, the right knowledge, and the determination to act. This is the passive path, a journey toward financial freedom, one that anyone can follow. Next, let's look at what the future might bring and how you can prepare. No matter what happens, the future is uncertain. But uncertainty doesn't have to mean fear. It can mean opportunity. What's coming? Inflation may continue. A recession is possible. More financial crises are likely. Governments will keep spending. Central banks will keep intervening, and the wealth divide may grow wider. But those who prepare can thrive. First, keep learning. Stay updated on economic trends. Follow credible experts. Question mainstream narratives. Second, stay liquid. Keep some cash or cash equivalents, not for saving, but for seizing opportunities when assets go on sale. Third, diversify. Don't rely on one income source or one asset type. Spread your risk. Real estate, stocks, commodities, alternative income streams. Fourth, build community.
Surround yourself with like-minded people.
People pursuing financial freedom. People who share knowledge and opportunities. And finally, take action. Most people will freeze in fear or wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. Start where you are. Use what you have. Grow from there. At the Passive Path, we believe freedom isn't given. It's built, step by step, choice by choice, action by action. Yes. You have the knowledge. You have the strategy. Now it's time to move forward. If you found value in this video, like it. Subscribe to The Passive Path for more practical financial insights. And share your thoughts in the comments. What step will you take today toward your own financial freedom? Remember, the system may be rigged, but you can choose to stop playing their game and start building your own. You've now seen how the system works, why the wealth gap keeps growing, and what you can do to protect yourself and build real freedom. The choice is yours. Keep playing by their rules, or start building your own path to financial independence. If you got value from this video, like it. Subscribe to The Passive Path for more clear, practical financial strategies. Comment below with your thoughts or questions. Share this video with someone you care about. Help them take the first step toward freedom too. I wish you success and resilience on your journey. Feel free to watch other videos here on The Passive Path, and I'll see you in the next video.